Welcome back to the Intervention channel, or welcome. If you're a professional or if you're a family member of a loved one who's addicted to drugs or alcohol, I have 20 years of experience, 500 interventions under my belt. I'm going to impart as much wisdom as I can to you, free of charge, with this channel. The subject today, or tonight rather, I'm actually in Scottsdale in a hotel on a beautiful starlit night, trying to help get this guy into a program. I have a program out in Denmark. Anyway, it's a long story, but I'm on an intervention right now. And I wanted to talk about something that a lot of people are afraid of or don't believe will happen, but it might. So this goes back in essence, it goes back to planning, right? You plan for contingencies during your planning, right? One thing you plan for is handling objections, right? Another thing you plan for are contingencies. And when I say contingencies, I'm talking about, let's say, like during my intervention, right, that my family did, my brother and my stepdad started arguing, all right? Not really something you want to have happen. They weren't prepared for my question, what about my pets? I think my dad said, well, you know, you need to go to treatment. You don't need those pets anyway. You got to get rid of those animals. The intervention was over. I walked out. Actually, what happened organically during my intervention is the correct thing to plan for a walkout. All right? This is a contingency, right? What if he walks out? I walked out of my own intervention. This was years ago, 2 decades ago. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But so what happened is my brother, Kalani, Mike, he changed his name. He's a performer and an instructor. But at the time, his name was Mike. So Mike came out, and I had gotten into my car. I had this little beat-up 1972 MGB GT. I'll never forget it. I hauled my 6-foot lizard and these 2 kittens. Anyway, the story's in my book if you want to read about it. It's called More Than Hope. It's on Amazon and Kindle. The whole story of my intervention and the story of my intervention from my mother's viewpoint. My mom wrote a chapter about my intervention, so it's pretty interesting if you want to read about it. But the walkout, yeah. So I walked out, and my brother, Mike, came after me. And my family came out of this building. They had invited me to this place for some counseling. You know, it was an intervention. I was fine with it. I wasn't, it wasn't that. But when I realized that they weren't ready to handle my animals, I wasn't going to get rid of my animals. I would rather die cuddling my animals than go to treatment and give them away or something. I mean, I loved my lizard. Her name was Sin. Sin is actually C-Y-N, from a Welsh word that means friend, FYI. And Baby Skins was a little kitten. She was a calico. Baby Skins because her mom was potato skins. She looked like some potato skins. And Maynard. Maynard was a nice cat. And Maynard is from the guitarist from Tool, the band. So anyway, I was very close with them, and they weren't ready. So I walked out. My brother came out and, tried to get me to come back in and listen. And he said, we want you to go in today. I wouldn't necessarily recommend pushing like that. But what I recommend that people do, if you have a walkout, the guy's sitting there, he gets up, walks out of the room. And what you want is the person with the greatest amount of affinity to go after him and say something like this. Say, John, look, I know this is awkward. It's awkward for everybody, but please, just come out and listen. Do not say, well, we traveled a long way and, everybody made a lot of effort. He will just throw that in your face. I would just be like, you know what? That's on you. Okay, you wasted your time. That's actually an opening for me to fight you. So don't make it about what you did. John, your loved one's empathy motor is off, right? There is no empathy, right? There's no sympathy. Well, there can be sympathy, but there's very little empathy typically. So you want to go have that person go after him. And here's what you say. You say, look, You don't have to say anything. Just listen. At least you'll have the information. You know, I know mom and dad want to say something. Nobody's going to say anything bad. We didn't come here to beat you up. We did not come here to accuse you of anything. They just want to tell you how much they love you. And if you're afraid of like being emotional or something, I'm not emotional. Okay, all right. I just, I'm saying, all you have to do is come in and listen. Just give us 10 minutes. Maybe it's going to take an hour, but you just say something like that. Give him something he can have. Give him something he can have, right? It's just going to take 10 minutes. You just come out and listen. If John continues away, do not pick a fight. Don't make the situation worse. You want John to be left with the idea that sitting down and speaking with you is safe, okay? You don't need to sell the farm right then and there. If he leaves, again, if he keeps going, let him go. Regroup. This is the other key element, and I'll tie off here. Then regroup. Go back to the hotel, go back to the house, go back to wherever, regroup, and talk about what happened, and rehabilitate your plan. Get a new game plan. Well, who's going to go in again? And it may be fewer people this time. You may have somebody who wasn't at the offer, but who might be a good closer. Go in and take him out for a beer. If he's an alcoholic, take him out for a fucking beer. I mean, I'm not saying if he's a dope addict, take him out for a shot of heroin, but if he, you sit down and make him comfortable, because you do just want to talk. And it's all about making that offer. If you want more data about how to do an intervention, the videos are all right here, free of charge. All you have to do is click in the next frame. Speaking of that, there will be a next video. You can click on that. There's a subscribe button. If you're a professional, you definitely want to hit the subscribe button and share it with other professionals. If you're a family member, share this channel with other family members so they can watch and get the information. If you have questions for me directly, you can go to stevebruno.com. You can fill out the contact form. You can call me, text me. My number is there. You can ask questions in the comments and I will answer them, and then everybody can see the answer. Okay. So thank you for watching the Intervention Channel. I'm Steve Bruno, and I look forward to hearing back if you've had some success as a result of these videos. I'd love that. Okay, thanks again for watching.